Now we have Rohit S.
Hello. Okay. Hi, this is Rohit Sutrapu from B first year. Election Law Amendments Bill 2021 is passed on December 20 by Law Minister Kiran Rijiju. So, to be discussed honestly, I am completely in support to these amendments because few amendments which admires me is firstly, it maintains the gender neutral and makes the law gender neutral intact by replacing the term wife with spouse, which is very valuable for service voters who where casting of votes is also eligible for husbands and also wives if the term spouse is added. And one more thing is the electoral dates. Earlier it was January 1st. So now it is going to be amended for 4 times. That is first day of January, first day of July, first day of October. And if these are if these are came into um, uh, if these are came into uh, amended, then eligible voters, instead of waiting for whole 1 year, they could just enroll for their votes at the eligible day of their 18 years, that is majority. And one debating point is that voter id linking with Aadhaar card. Of course it's a voluntary, it's voluntary but not mandatory yet. I think so if we link this voter id with Aadhaar card, that majority of them are pros because this eradicates all the fraud voters and eradicates multiple castings of votes, all these points. So majority of the points are being always supporting for these amendments. So I strongly believe today's vote gonna change tomorrow's society. So I would express my gratitude if these amendments takes place. Thank you.
Thank you, Rohit. So I once again want to repeat that there is a Google Form link in the chat box. So you can add your extra points or any documents you have gathered in that form, and they have extra points too. So yeah, next moving on, we have Sai Vikas.
Hello, am I audible? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Hello, is
Yes,
my
you are.
voice clear?
Yes,
You
your
are.
voice
O-
is clear.
okay, fine. Yeah. Respected speakers and members of the part. Okay, fine. Let me turn on my video. Respected speakers and members of the parliament, I start with supporting the bill. First of all, the bill includes three main points. They are linking Aadhaar number in the electoral roll. Second thing is the qualifying dates has been changed to 4 qualifying dates in a year. Previously, it is used to be only one qualifying date in a year. And the last thing is it discusses about the gender neutralization. So, like coming to the first one, linkage of Aadhaar number to the electoral roll, it has two main advantages. They are like it will be eliminating fake voters. Second thing is like someone needs to update their Aadhaar number in the electoral roll. So like we need few persons to manage all these things. So that's why government can make some jobs for those people so that we can increase the job opportunity also. Second thing is like when the qualifying dates are changed to 4 times in a year, so we get number of participants are more. And the third thing is these will discuss about the gender neutralization things. And the other thing I want to say is like many people are saying that updating the Aadhaar number in the electoral roll leads to like privatization, like private issues. So updating Aadhaar number in the electoral is a private issue. But thing is to get unique election, like a unique election process, everyone needs to have an unique identity. So the like basic unique identity everyone are having is Aadhaar number. So I request like this bill is very good and no changes to be made in the further in the bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Vikas. So yeah, at this note, everyone in the meet have uh, have shared their opinions on the bill. I want to again give a last call. If I have missed anyone to call or if they have joined late in the meet, I want to give a last call to them so that they can also explain their views. So we will wait for 2 minutes so that anyone missing will revert back and they'll uh, they'll share their views.
If any one of you didn't get a chance to speak, raise your hands.
Srinija, there is a Google Form link in the chat. I'll again post. Please give your gatherings there. Yeah. So we have waited for 2 minutes. So now we'll proceed to the next round in the session. That will be a debate round. So till now, everyone here had shared your views on the bill. Now you have to mention your ID number in the chat box, and when your ID number is called out, you have to say your question, and you have to say for whom you are reverting, for which minister in this session you are reverting, and they'll answer your question. So here I want to request speaker sir, Rajeshwar sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I request you to pick the ID numbers from the chat box and they'll ask their question, and the one who want to answer will answer here. Like that, we'll start the debate session. And here the important point is only they'll be given only 30 seconds per person, and after 30 seconds there'll be a buzzer again. So you have to say your points in the 30 seconds only. So, and when you give your ID number in the chat box, the speaker will ask you the question, and anyone want to answer that, please raise your hand, and speaker will choose you, and you have to answer them. And you will be given 30 seconds, and in that 30 seconds, you have to uh, give your opinion. So, speaker sir, I request you to call out the ID numbers first, and then choose the person to answer. I think I am clear, but if you have any doubts, please post in the chat box. I'll solve it. So yeah, without any further ado, we'll start the debate session. So please post the ID number in the chat box. I'll once again repeat the process of the debate. First, you have to, okay, you have a number. So I'll once again repeat the process. So first, you have to give your number in the chat box, and speaker sir will choose you to ask a question. And anyone in the meet, other than that, want to answer, please raise your hand, and speaker sir will choose you. You
Bhavna,
have to answer for 30 seconds.
I think MP number 36 wants to ask a question.
Yes, sir. 36.
To
Please
whom?
unmute yourself.
To whom?
Sir, he'll ask the question, and
Should I
afterwards,
ask,
whoever wants to answer,
Okay.
they'll raise the hand.
Okay.
should I ask this way only or in the chat box question?
Yeah, once you ask here and then type in the chat.
Okay, like the 58 MP, she has mentioned that uneducated people, they don't have documents, so that Aadhaar card, how they can link through. But I think there are 99% people who have Aadhaar card, so there will be no issue. Sorry, it was not a question, but I was answering that.
I was about to comment. It was not a
Oh.
question, it was an answer.
Answer, sorry. It was an answer.
Okay. So anyone want to talk on that point? Anyone in the session? We will start the debate.
I wanted to talk, and I'm MP 58.
Yeah,
See,
you'll be given 30 seconds.
Hmm. I
Sorry,
just
sorry for
said
interrupting.
that only few people, like not everyone. I know that 95% has their other number and other linked. So the only thing what I wanted to say is that not everyone are aware of that. There are few people who lost their documents. In that way, I have just mentioned the point. In like climate to some floods or something or the other thing, they might lose their identity or documents. That is the reason why I have mentioned that point. I know as 95% or 96% have their.
Thank you.
Yes, can I speak?
No, we have 42 wants to ask a question.
Can I start my question? Can I ask?
Yes, you can.
So many members in our parliament have mentioned that this provision, which is to link Aadhaar with electoral roll data, is going to curb the menace of multiple enrollment of the same person in different places. I can't understand how it is going to do this. So I just want answer for this.
Can you post it in the chat box, ma?
Yes, sir, I'll post it.
Forty-two. Sir, there are two people raise their hands, so you can pick one of them. Three. Excuse me, sir. Am I audible?
I call upon Shaba Shireen
Sada.
to answer that question.
Yes, sir. Sir, as she said that how the duplication cannot be done, the Aadhaar information, it is authenticated first of all. The biometrics cannot be replicated or duplicated. This can prevent of making fake voter ID cards. So this was my answer, sir. The biometrics cannot be replicated or duplicated.
Okay.
So can I rebut that?
Revert, ma, please.
Sir, there is no publicly available data that Aadhaar register is a completely authenticated one, and there are also so many duplicate Aadhaar cards. Like Ritesh Deshmukh also has a Aadhaar card, and so Aadhaar card. Moreover, Aadhaar card is not a proof of citizenship. What if non-citizens vote? So authenticity of Aadhaar card is in doubt. How can we use this to authenticate the other register? So, so it's yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Can I call MP number 35, Rohit, to respond to that question?
Yes, the logic is clear, sir. If a fellow being is eligible to vote once, he would link his Aadhaar card, right? If he casts his vote in one constitution, so that's it. Every one individual has only one Aadhaar card, and one Aadhaar card has only one number. So that number couldn't be repeated again. So once the fellow being is casted with a single Aadhaar card number, so that's it. His voting is done for the elections. So this is how it would prevent duplicate votes and fraud voting and multiple electorals. So that's it. Thank you. Hope you are clear.
Rohit, I think the MP wants to point out that the very issuance of Aadhaar is based on some unauthenticated documents. Then how can we say Aadhaar is an authenticated document? That is the question, is it, ma?
Yes, yes, sir. Second question is that only, sir.
Anybody wants to answer that? MP number 49, Bala.
Yes, sir. I am actually in the favor of the question.
Okay, you are in favor of the question. Okay.
Sir, I want to answer this.
Okay, please.
Hello, am I audible?
You are audible. Sai Vikas.
Okay, fine. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Answer.
As the honorable MP stated that how can we choose Aadhaar as a document for updating in the electoral roll? Yeah, one thing is like, but now in the society, like everyone are having only the basic identity factor is Aadhaar itself. Other than Aadhaar card, like no one is having a basic identification. So like to recognize the people as from the basic, we only need to choose the Aadhaar as the basic identity. So like other than Aadhaar, we can't have any other document to choose. Like if we choose PAN card, like few people don't have PAN card also. So taking Aadhaar card is only the best.
Sir, can I rebut?
Yes, ma.
Sorry, MP Vivek. Why do we need to authenticate voter ID cards? Do we need to authenticate them? I don't think so. And moreover, this provision, instead of bringing a comprehensive electoral roll reforms, the present day government only brought 4 amendments and also a completely unrelated thing, but of coming elections only to get benefit from the coming elections. That's the only thing they want. Thank you, sir.
Anything to add to that, Sai Vikas?
Sir, I didn't get the question.
Why do we need to authenticate the electoral roll? Am I right, ma?
Yes, sir. Why do we need to authenticate our voter ID card?
MP 46.
Sir, I am actually I am in favor with MP 42, sir.
Okay. Supriya, MP number 47, Supriya.
Yes, sir. To prevent fraud and duplicate voters.
Yes.
Can I rebut?
How much? Supriya.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Sir, if we authenticate voter ID with Aadhaar, then we can prevent from fraud and duplicate voters. So that is the reason.
Can I rebut?
Wait, ma. One more. Shiva Pranit has also raised his hand.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
By linking Aadhaar and voter ID, we'll have it will be like a backup, sir. Like we'll have a more solid proof that this is legit and not fake. and by that I mean we can link with all our different types of IDs uh, to be like more safeguards to safeguard the conduct of elections better to make it
So
better.
can I give a counter?
Yes, please go on.
Sorry for
Sir,
interrupting. I'm really sorry. But please on your video so that it will be more interactive.
okay, thank you, ma'am. I am definitely not agreeing with my fellow parliamentarian Shiva Praneeth. He has mentioned that the merging of Aadhaar with the voter ID card is like a backup, but it's actually not like a backup, because if the authentication of Aadhaar is not valid, then both the ID is invalid and both the Aadhaar card is also becoming invalid at the same time. So it's not a backup, but it's a losing case in both the cases. So I would like to uh, correct himself.
Can I revert, sir?
Asma, Siddiqui.
Here, there is a major concern because in the bill, there is no clause related to privacy mentioned here. So now when we are, suppose I carry out an exercise of linking me and my Aadhaar card together, there is a major fear in our minds that is not hypothetical, it's genuine, that it to targeted deletion of inconvenient votes. How? I'll say. Now, suppose I get to know when I have everybody's data, I will know who's voted for whom. So yeah, that it makes it easy for the government to delete out all the inconvenient votes and then de-enfranchise all the voters who have not voted for them. There is a major concern in this bill which is not being addressed. Yes, it is principally, it is very that yes, it is it is principally very good to hear that this bill does not allow fraudulence to vote, but here major concern of privacy is also thing. So my question, how do we fix that?
Okay, ma Siddiqui.
So
Let's
can I?
uh, you wanted to ask some question, but before that, many of our MPs have raised their hands. We'll hear them and then we'll get back to you. It is now the chance for MP number 38, Sai Krishna Reddy, to speak. Sai Krishna.
Honorable Chairperson, I means the data collected will be with Election Commission of India, and it won't be available for any political party to get access to the person who the person has casted vote. And in a statement, the spokesperson of Election Commission of India stated that the electoral data system does not enter into the other ecosystem, and the system is used only for the authentication purpose, keeping a tight air gap between the two systems, as these measures effectively prevent theft, interception, and hijacking of voter system. So I think there won't be any data used by political parties to deliver promises for the people. Thank you.
So can I
So
revert?
can I
I would
revert?
like to revert.
Sir, I would like to revert.
So sorry, there was a lot of confusion there.
So can I?
Can I revert?
Bala?
Yes.
Is it Bala? Okay.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Mm.
Yeah, as
Switch on your video, ma.
stated by-
Even Sai Krishna Reddy, switch on your video.
So as stated by the MP that maintenance of the voters list is primarily responsibility of the Election Commission of India, which is an independent governing body. But the linkage of Aadhaar ecosystem with electoral photo ID will only give the Election Commission the crucial personal data of citizens. As my fellow MP already stated, the instance of Pondicherry, where voters list was leaked, the gap between the commission and the political parties was bridged very well, and the data was leaked, and it was a heck of a job. I understand that government want to remove duplication of votes, but rather it provides room for big data gambling among governing bodies. Thank you, sir.
So can I speak?
Siddiqui, please, ma.
Not only in Pondicherry, but also in 2018 in Andhra Pradesh, tens and lakhs of people were de-enfranchised from the voter list. So even then, when Aadhaar card and voter ID wasn't linked, this thing could take place. Now it will be even more accessible for the higher bodies to uh, delete inconvenient votes.
Saba, MP number 36.
Sir, as the fellow MP, she was saying that in Telangana and Andhra, they were not proper election held due to Aadhaar linkage. But one of my fellow MP, she also said that we should have a secure website. We have to plan in that way that it should not leak. Like we should have a secure website where the data cannot be leaked. Also, and also the training. She was also telling about the training of the election the people who are participating in that. The training should be good, sir. I think this will
MP Supriya.
Yes, sir. Sir, linking of Aadhaar with voter ID is voluntary. If the citizen is not willing to link, such people will be allowed to furnish other documents which are prescribed. So it is not mandatory, it is voluntary. It's the citizen's wish whether to link or not. It doesn't come under violating the right to privacy, I think so.
Sir, can I respond?
Can I rebut?
Who is it, ma? Silvero, Lakshmi. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, it's not mandatory, as she said that it is not she said that it is not mandatory, but the thing is, the wording, if you read the act, it says that it is voluntary. It is not voluntary. You have to definitely produce your Aadhaar card. If you are not producing, there should be a sufficient ground, and that sufficient ground is prescribed by the government. In that sense, everybody is meant to, so is supposed to produce the Aadhaar card. Wording, the terminology is different. If you Supriya, MP Supriya, I just request you to go and read that. Thank you, sir.
Sir, can I speak?
Let us move on to the next question, ma. MP 40, you wanted to ask some question.
Yes, sir. When the government's motive is not to invade the privacy and it is only to avoid the fraudulence from voting, why not make the voter ID itself unique? Why do you want to link Aadhaar card to it? There is a flaw in the system. How can they link the Aadhaar card to it and say that you want to avoid the fraudulence from voting? Is my question. Why don't you make the voter unique? Or why don't you find other way to avoid it? Why only linking Aadhaar card where you get everybody's details?
MP Bala 49.
So yes, I'm in the favor of what the previous MP have spoken, that the clauses are given by the central government, that apart from the 10 clauses, it is mandatory for all the citizens to produce the link the Aadhaar card with electoral ID. That's what I wanted to say.
MP 36 Saba Sirin.
Sir, I want to answer MP Siddiqui, sir, that she has said why only Aadhaar card, why not we need to bring unique voter ID? Because Aadhaar card already, there are many people using Aadhaar card. It has unique number, so it cannot be given to any other person. But as voter ID we are considering, voter ID can be used by, the ID can be given to other after death. So I think Aadhaar card is more better option other than all the other options like driving license, voter ID, and PAN card. Thank you, sir.
Sir, can I revert?
Yes, ma'am.
That was exactly my point, that there is a flaw in the system, that they are not making the voter ID unique, because voter ID only has one job, is that is to allow the candidate to vote. So why not use that thing and make it unique? Why do you want to use another card, another identification where all our major details are stored? Why do you want to link this with the voter ID? Why don't you make the voter ID itself unique? Instead of uh, passing all these laws, you can just make the voter ID unique. Why is
How,
that not done?
how, ma'am? How?
Yes.
MP number 38, Sai Krishna Reddy.
Sir, to make the voter ID unique also, we need to provide some documents, no, sir. To provide that such documents like Aadhaar card should be needed as well as in that situation also, no, sir. So why to do again the process? So we can simply attach Aadhaar card to the voter ID. It would be best thing to do. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Can I
I would
revert, sir?
support ID
Sabas,
38.
Sabasirin.
Yes, sir. Sir, I support that ID 38, sir, because Aadhaar card, linking Aadhaar card with voter ID card, it's very easy, sir. Just an SMS or call, it can be. But for making voter ID card as unique, it's a long process, sir.
Okay. Balasrija, Srinija.
Yes, sir. As my fellow MP said, that it is very easy to link Aadhaar card with electoral ID, and it is so easy to misuse the information coming with it also, sir. Because our Aadhaar cards are linked to bank accounts, phone numbers, and all the crucial personal information, sir. It is very easy to misuse also.
What type of personal information?
Yeah, like I mentioned, bank account details, phone numbers.
We
These
have
are all not
already
required for
linked
the
Aadhaar card
Election
to
Commission
PAN
of
card,
India.
right? We have already linked Aadhaar card to PAN card. We have given there our information. Then why can't we give here?
PAN card does not come under Electoral Commission of India. Election Commission of India does not require your phone number or your bank account details. It only requires your vote and which person you vote. Linking Aadhaar card makes it easy to identify the person, which person voted for whom, and it comes to targeting of audience, targeting of certain group of people. It becomes very easy. That's my point, sir. There no need to link Aadhaar card for that.
We will move on to the next question, ma. Who else wants to ask?
35, sir.
35, Rohit.
Yes, sir. So I agree with the debating point that Aadhaar card is there is some flaws by linking Aadhaar card with voter ID. So I would like to hear some suggestions from their point of view that what betterment then they can do other than linking of Aadhaar card. Like, can they suggest anything, any other unique procedures? So because they are all already always keeping the point unique. Now I would like to hear the unique points from their.
Sir, can I answer his question?
Uma, Silver
Sorry,
Election.
sir.
Yeah, sir.
Tell me, ma.
See, there is no need to link this Aadhaar card. And why do we need to authenticate electoral roll data? Do you have any data that that the menace of multiple enrollment of the same person in different places is happening? Because Kiran Rijiju didn't have this data to support this bill. Just because they had the majority without even respecting parliamentary democracy, they had passed this bill. Do you have any data to back that multiple enrollment are happening? There's no publicly available data. Just by linking Aadhaar, you're actually, giving, you're actually helping. Okay, thank you, sir.
I think my fellow parliamentary didn't understand my question. I asked that I agreed that this debating topic linking with Aadhaar card already is obviously acceptable. So I'm asking, how can we eradicate fraud votings? What is the necessary way to eradicate fraud voters? Because people, by changing the addresses, they are taking multiple electorals and giving multiple votes. So how can this problem be closed? That's my question.
Please switch on your video, Rohit.
I've already answered his question. Should I answer it again?
No, not necessary. Lakshmi Tanuja.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bala Sirija, you want to answer to that one?
Yes, actually, in favor of Honorable MP 42, what she said is right, sir. Because there is no need for authentication because there is no actually factual data to prove that duplication is happening. If it was happening also, instead of removing the duplicity in the electoral ID itself, there is no need to unnecessarily link Aadhaar card with electoral IDs. That's thank you, sir.
Sai Krishna Reddy, you want to add to that?
Sir,
No, okay.
sir, they are saying that there is no data regarding duplication of votes, sir. So I want to give a personal example, sir. So I am from Nalgonda. My uncle will stay in Vanasalipuram. So my uncle will vote in Vanasalipuram and he will vote as well as in Nalgonda also, sir. Because here he will apply for 2 votes and he will get 2 votes. Because there the government will give votes, here also government will give votes, sir. So if we link the person Aadhaar card to the election voter ID, we can remove this problem of voting 2 times by single person, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
moving
sir,
on to the next question from MP number
40, sir.
40.
So my question is, when this
46. MP number 46.
Thank you, sir.
Gana Raghava.
Thank you, sir. As our fellow parliamentarians have debated about the security issues and the concerns by linking with Aadhaar and the voter ID card, I really want to ask an off-topic question, sir. Is it really the need of the hour? I mean, I was expecting a delimitation of constituencies from the government, sir. Is it really the need of the hour?
Can I answer his question?
Yes, ma'am. Please do.
MP Gana Raghava, it's a good question. Of course, it is not the need of the hour.
Thank
the
you.
only thing is, elections are coming. There are 5 state elections, so it wants the government in power. I feel that it wants to misuse the data of voters, just like it has done in Pondicherry. So it wants to profile the voters. Now it has become a fashion to profile, even Booker Prize winners like Arundhati Roy as anti-nationals. What if government misuses this linkage just by using naming technical errors? Like, what if the name is different in Aadhaar card and electoral voter ID card? What if this is a matter of small technical issue? What if this is used by government and deny? And what if government
I actually agree with you.
Sir, actually
why
this
I'm against
question
it.
is answered by our Supriya ma'am, sir. So the Aadhaar card is voluntary, sir. So that is not mandatory. If the name in Aadhaar card and voter ID is different, we can provide other documents that is there in the list prescribed by the government, sir. Thank you, sir. I think I answered the previous parliamentarians' questions.
Sir, can I speak?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I would like to support MP Lakshmi Tanuja by saying, because when this bill was being passed, the bill was introduced before the lunch in the morning. The court was adjourned. Then the court was reconciled after the lunch, and then it was passed. Like, I agree that Minister Kiran Rijiju was formerly a sports minister, but he didn't have to show his sportsman spirit here in the parliament. Why the need to hurry? Some kind of indirect message for the UP elections and the other elections that are going to be held.
Sai Krishna Reddy.
Sir, I think we are means we are not concerned about what parliament did, sir. So we are concerned only about right now what we are discussing now, sir.
Point noted.
Why
Point
our
noted.
co-parliamentarians
Point
are
noted.
bringing the issue of parliament into this issue?
Point noted. Point noted. Point noted. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. MP number 40.
Sir, one question
Sanya.
answered.
Siddiqui, please proceed, ma.
Sir, my question has already been answered.
Okay, ma. Thank you. So, any more questions? Bhavana,
Yeah,
over to you.
till 4 we'll have this debate session. So anyone with any question, it may be a last question now. So yeah, if anyone has a question, we'll debate for 4 till 4, and then we'll have voting. So 38 has raised his hand.
Sir, so actually people are thinking the misuse of data, sir. So I want to say something which is so the data is handled by only Election Commission of India, no, sir. Then why the political parties get that data, sir? If at all they get, then they can get now also, no, sir. So they have voters ID, no, sir. They can get now also, sir. And I want to tell another thing also, sir. If a government gets any data, if at all they get data, they only get that the person is voted or not voted. Other than that, they can't get any voter like to which party they have voted and to which party they are favorable. So it is simple that there won't be any misuse of data. If at all it is misused, and if at all it is misused, there is no actually what we say. There is no importance to that. Thank you, sir.
Sir, can I revert?
This one.
Government we are talking about, we don't know that till what extent they can get our data, and not you or I have seen that whether they only get the information of whether we have voted or not, and also keeping in mind that they have not mentioned any privacy related concern in the act. This causes a major question here. This raises a major question here. So we cannot say that they are only getting the data related to who has voted and who has not.
Bala, MP 49.
Yes, sir. Regarding the government, how government will misuse our data, as our honorable MP 38 have asked, that we do not like. It's like saying that cheating is, students keep cheating behind the teacher's eye. Why not make it official? It's like that, because government can see you, can see your details. Yes, it can see through various means. But linking Aadhaar is like giving it directly to them, handing it directly. And also regarding what you have said earlier, that one of your relatives have voted in 2 different places. That is the mere responsibility of a citizen, that he should not misuse his right. His right. It is his right to vote for at one place for one person or one party. He is choosing, and you are blaming government for that. It is not the way.
MP Rohit.
Sir, actually, my answer is same as MP Bala, in favor to MP Bala.
Okay. Sai Krishna, you want to add?
Sir, previously I stated the example because to give they have asked no proofs of having misuse, manipulating votes, sir. They asked proof if there are any person casting double votes. So I gave the example of that, sir. And talking about individual that is their personal, sir. If they have a chance to vote twice, they can vote, sir. That is their personal, sir. So that's why government is doing this, authenticating Aadhaar with the voter ID, so that a single person cannot vote twice, sir. I think I answered the previous parliamentarian question, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, can I revert back?
Yes, ma'am.
So I want to give an example of a scenario like now we have ration cards. Everybody is aware of how ration card works now after updation. Ration card every month or every 2 months, when the ration arrives, there you have to go take your Aadhaar card and you go. Then they will send an OTP to your mobile number. Okay. That OTP, if you say, they will give you the ration, they will authentify, they will relate the data, and they will give you that this person has taken, and they will record it that this person has collected the ration for this month. Like that, same thing. The Aadhaar card, it can be taken by anybody. It actually, the person himself, whoever is eligible for ration should go. But actually, the phone number, whoever has the phone number, whoever gets the OTP can go, because the level of authentication government sets is high, but how we use it is in our hands, right? So the OTP which arrives, it can be misused by the people also. Same way, voter ID also, it is not mandatory for Aadhaar card to be linked to electoral ID to make it authenticate. Okay, that's it. And one more thing, that to authenticate, it is not the point.
I'd like to add only one point, if you permit.
Yes, thank you.
Everybody, I'd like to remind everybody that in one Supreme Court, in one of its rulings, said that the use of Aadhaar card should be limited only to social or welfare, social or economic benefits. Okay, and it was also said in its Puttaswamy judgment that right to privacy is a fundamental right. So intruding into one's personal space is not fine, even if it's done by government also. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm in the favor of MP 42.
Yeah.
Sir, can I answer?
Sai Vikas. Okay. Go
Yes,
on.
sir. Sir, in the amendment, it is clearly mentioned that like if we fail to submit the Aadhaar card also, like our names in the electoral roll will not be removed. So it's up to our wish, sir, entirely.
Sir, can I rebut? It's actually not, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Lakshmi Tanuja.
Because
Actually,
they are not understanding the terminology. So the thing is, it's mandatory to submit. It is just saying that it is voluntary.
Can you read that particular sentence, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
From the bill?
I have to download it, sir. It might take some time.
Okay.
Yesterday I've read, sir.
sorry for interruption, but from past 30 minutes we have been debating, and sorry to inform, debate time is getting over. So, yeah, anyone want to add any last point, they can add, and we'll end the debate now.
I would like to add the last point that not only I'm most of the member of parliamentaries are okay with the two amendments except that voter ID linking with Aadhaar. So if that is that is the most debating point, right? So I think that amendment should be stopped, and if even I was in support with the 2 points. So if anything regarding that to be spoken, I would be happy.
Sir.
Thank you,
Yes.
Rohit. And yeah, with this we'll end the debate.
Sir, last
Over
point.
to you, speaker, sir.
Shall we go for the voting, ma'am?
Sir, last point.
Last point. Who is it?
Sir, Savika, sir, MP Vikas.
No.
Sir, you have asked the exact statement, sir. Sir, like in the amendment, like we have point number 6, sir, that is no application for the inclusion of name shall be denied of an individual, like insufficient, like if we don't provide the Aadhaar number also. That is the point number 6 in the amendment, sir.
Can you please read it completely?
Sir, can I read it, sir? I have the act.
Read it, Mabala.
Yes, sir. Chapter 2, clause number 4, sir. Under the Section 23 of 1950 Act, the electoral registration officer may, for the purpose of establishing the
Only
identity
the particular one, ma?
Yes, sir.
Mm.
Such person may furnish Aadhaar number given by Unique Identification Authority of India as per the provisions of Aadhaar, which is targeted delivery for financial and other subsidies.
Mm.
Provided that electoral registration officer may also require Aadhaar number from persons already included in the electoral roll for the purposes of authentication of entries in electoral roll and to identify registration of name of the same person in the electoral roll of more than one constituency or more than once in the same constituency.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Bala. And yeah,
So
with this
according to you, 4 and 6 are contradicting themselves.
No, actually the what is mentioned in clause 4 contradicts the Aadhaar Act 2016. Aadhaar Act mentions that according to Supreme Court judgment verdict, it says that Aadhaar card shall be limited only for welfare subsidiaries and welfare schemes provided by the government. But linking it with
Okay.
electoral ID will.
Point noted, ma. Point
Yes,
noted.
thank you, sir.
Because I am not supposed to comment, I will do it afterwards. Okay.
Thank you, sir. So yeah, we'll move on and further. Yeah, over to you, speaker, sir. We'll pass the bill on. We'll go for voting.
We'll go for voting, ma. For
So,
each
yeah.
class or the bill at once?
Sir, can I actually read that clause? I got it.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
The entire bill at once or each class?
Sir, you're not audible, sir. Sorry.
I didn't get you, ma, Bhavana.
Sir, you're not audible.
I'm not audible.
Yes, sir. Please.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
So entire bill for the entire bill,
Yes,
ma, or okay.
Entire bill.
Entire bill. That is what I wanted to ask. But it is for the entire bill or for each class? Okay.
Entire.
The question is that whether the election laws amendment bill 2021 is to be passed or not.
Yes.
And
the bill that has amended be passed.
Passed.
So
Those in favor may raise hand. Those against may not raise hand. Those in favor may raise hand.
Once again, repeat, sir. My connection dropped. Then
the question is that the election laws amendment bill 2021 is to be passed or not. The bill that has been amended be passed. Those in favor may raise hand. Those against may not raise hand. I think those in favor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bhavana, can you please help me?
Sir, the total count is 12.
Total count is 12. Those in favor?
Yes, sir.
Those in against?
Nine members are against the bill, sir.
Okay.
12 are for the bill.
So 12 are in favor. So the motion is adopted and the bill has been amended. The
Thank you, sir.
bill is adopted and
after all the discussions made, the bill is finally passed. And yeah, with this we are ending the session. And I want to wholeheartedly thank all the MPs.
Before Bhavana and also Abhinav, can I add something of my personal knowledge about this Aadhaar?
Yes, sir, of course.
Not pertaining to any bill passing or anything like that. This 2018, which we are speaking about, the deletion of the voters list and also the linkage of Aadhaar and voters list, I was the legal advisor to the special investigation team, which was formed to investigate the deletion of the voters in AP. And I have personally seen it. So now, after the Puttaswamy judgment, the other data which is available, earlier it was given to the individual states, and also for the corrections and other things, it was in the custody of individual states, wherein it went into some private hands. But after the Puttaswamy judgment, retired Justice Puttaswamy judgment, now the other data is declared as a protected system. And anybody having possession of it will be held liable for the punishments. So protected system, it's like an espionage, you're spying on India and other things like that. So if the data is leaked somewhere and it is available somewhere, it will lead to the consequences of him being hauled up for prosecution. So I just wanted to clear that. Thank you so much for having me. I had a great time interacting with you all. Over to you, Bhavana.
Thank you, sir. Sir, any feedback about the session?
Very nice, very nice. Even though many of you are not from the legal background, except for one person who was from law background, all of you have interacted very well. You have understood the law. You had these final points. You understood the final points. You know how to defend it and how to oppose it and all such things. Very nice, very nice. Very nice. Thank you so much for making me a part of it.
Thank you so much for accepting our request and making time to come.
It was my pleasure, Abhinav.
So now I request everyone to on your camera so that we'll have a screenshot of this session.
Smile. Sacharyan wants us all to smile.
Yes, sir. So I wholeheartedly thank everyone who have shared their knowledge here. And yeah, all the MPs, thank you so much for giving your insights here. And thank you so much, sir, for accepting our request and spending time for us. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, man. All the best for all of you in all your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.